Hey folks, we are live. This is Kurt, your host of the Mañana morning check-in, and I'm a little bit late to the party today. Usually I try to do these at 9:30. It's almost 11 o'clock, but today is Tuesday. It's May 25th, 2021, and today was off to a little bit of an odd start. I'm staying at a friend's house. We're taking care of their animals. One of the animals fell and got hurt, and I was going to leave today and go buy an ambulance, because I want to convert an ambulance into a travel vehicle. And of course, with all of the distractions and all of the things that come along with what life has to offer, I did miss out on the opportunity to make the appointment to buy this ambulance, and someone else bought it out from under me. So I would say, since you already know that I'm a man of faith, I should take these disappointments as a sign from my creator that something better is coming along, or maybe something worse is coming along, and the last thing I need to do is go out and spend money on something like that. So that being said, we're going to move on to the topics of today's call. So as we all know, the topics of today's call deals very much with that challenge that I had launched yesterday. Now, today is day 2 of the challenge, right? So today is, you guys should have done, if you're with me on this, you should have done the introductory lesson, and you should have done day 1's lesson. And day 1's lesson wasn't like, working out and doing crazy things like that, right? No, it was basically a recognition of, like, what are your goals? What are your obstacles? And these are all talking about things that have to deal with finding ways to healthy success. Now, this course is written very much in the vein of one of my core beliefs, and that is that physical fitness leads to fiscal fitness. In fact, after I did the live with you guys yesterday, I worked for a little bit. I did some work online, and I'm working on some web projects for clients. But then I took off and I went mountain biking for an hour and a half, right? Knocked out 7 miles, went mountain biking, did some climbs, got the heart rate up. And then for me, it was a mental reset. I was able to come back and just jump back into the day, like refreshed, renewed, take a nice hot shower, get dressed again, and the day starts over, right? And so again, when I say physical fitness leads to fiscal fitness, sometimes I say it in a way that's like, you can only succeed as much as your body will allow you, right? When you are an entrepreneur-minded person, when you're a success-driven person, when you're running a team of people in a corporate environment, that takes energy, takes a lot of mental and physical energy. Even if you're just sitting in conference rooms, meeting after meeting after meeting, sometimes I think that can beat up on you more than loading trucks, right? And so I take this course pretty seriously, and I'm hoping that you guys do too, and I'm hoping that you're enjoying it. And I love the fact that people from the mail list, from the daily YouTube the Mañana Nomás morning check-in meeting, and people from LinkedIn have all decided to kind of jump into this thing and do this with us as a group and as a community. So as this challenge begins to unfold and more people are coming into it, you're going to see me start to shift the conversation a little bit more towards some of the other tools on the website, like the social learning and connecting with other learners and stuff like that through the site. Because if you choose to do other courses within the Mañana Nomás Academy, whether free or paid, you still have access to those social learning tools, which is kind of cool. So let me do the screen share real quick, and we'll go into what is the 5-day for healthy success course. You should be seeing that on your screen now. We went over this yesterday, so I don't have to go over it all again, but you see an introductory message from me. You see what the course is about. There's a picture of fat Kurt. There's a picture of skinny Kurt, and takes us down to the enrollment. If you're not enrolled in this course yet, but you're seeing this message this week, you're able to sign up for free. All you have to do is use the coupon code Mañana Mail, MANANA MAIL. Both M's for Mañana and Mail are capitalized, right? So Mañana Mail gets you access to this $15 course for free. Okay, so today's day 2. So let's jump into day 2. And I'm saying here, I'm not saying you need to give up coffee. That would be crazy, right? I say that, and I'm drinking a cup of coffee right now, making this message for you guys now. But if we get into this, we talk about how to pursue a healthy lifestyle. Now, as you go into the course yourself, you're going to see that most of these lessons are built with the same kind of build, at least in this course, right? Where we've got textual content, video content that brings it together, and then textual content to wrap it up. This particular lesson talks about really different channels of fitness, right? So it says in this lesson, we're going to be exploring different tips on forging a healthy lifestyle for yourself and identifying which areas in your life that need the most help. So the first thing is get enough sleep, right? You got to be rested. You got to find a way to keep yourself rested so that you can be alert, right? It says here, cutting back on sleep every night to gain an extra hour or two to work on your business isn't helping you get more done. In fact, I would say to you, the days that I squeak out of my work area early and go mountain biking probably end up leading to my most productive days, right? And I know that that sounds counterintuitive, but the more that you give yourself a chance to mentally reset, the more that you give yourself a chance to rest, recenter, the more productive you can be when you're actually working. It says take a break and stretch. This is one I talked about yesterday. When I was corporately employed, I had set breaks. I knew that I had a break at 10 o'clock, I had a break at 3 o'clock, and I had the lunch hour from 12 to 1. And me and a group of other people in that office would walk at each of those breaks, roughly about a mile around this track around the building. And so I knew that I was going to get at least 3 miles of walking in for the day, you know, plus the incidental stuff, going to the coffee pot and the bathrooms and stuff like that, right? But I knew that at 10 o'clock I was going to get a break and a stretch. I knew at 3 o'clock I was going to get a break and a stretch, and at 12 o'clock I would have lunch and then another break and stretch, like actively getting up and moving around. When you are an entrepreneur and you are working on a project, it's not uncommon, you know, to get involved in what you're doing and look up and go, oh my goodness, it's 4:30. And you might not have done anything but drink coffee and go to the restroom for the last 7 or 8 hours, right? I know what that's like. I know what it's like to be excited and want to build something. You get, you know, so intense on building something that you forget to take care of you. If you do that and it becomes a trend, by not taking care of yourself, in the long run, you're actually going to hurt your productivity and possibly hurt your launch. And this to me goes way back. I think about when I worked at Ducati and I was averaging 79 hours a week working for that company. Of course, getting paid for 40, but you know, giving them 79 hours a week on average every week between travel and work that I was doing for the company. And when you look at the damage it does to yourself, but also to your family, your relationship with your kids, your diet, your sleep habits, physically, all the time zone changes from all the traveling, it really takes its toll on you, right? And so it's important that you recognize these things and that you draw a line, you draw a boundary, right? Because even if the company is putting pressure on you to do this, in the long run, it's not a benefit for them or for you, right? So keep healthy food in the house. It is so easy when you're busy to just run and grab a bag of chips or, you know, heat up some ramen. In my house, we love ramen. It's not like ramen's just for poor people, right? We love eating ramen in our house. And the thing is, it's so easy, you can have it done in minutes. You know, and you can put eggs in it and you can chop up vegetables and you can do all kinds of things to make it fancy ramen, but it's still not probably the healthiest thing that you could put in your body, right? And so you want to make sure that you have healthy food in the house that's easily prepared, right? So something that you can readily turn into something that is good. Now, there are some ideas in the text here. It says, include a few snacks and treats like fresh fruit, raw vegetables, dark chocolate, nuts, seeds, and things like that. And so when you have that opportunity to stock up on that kind of stuff, then you've got kind of that knick-knacky, snacky stuff that, you know, helps you get through a project, especially if you're a web-bound person like me and you're stuck to a keyboard. You know, having a box of nuts around or something like that is sometimes what saves me from doing something silly like running out and grabbing a cheeseburger somewhere, right? It says skip the snacks. I just talked about having snacks, so now I sound like a hypocrite. But the next thing is skipping snacks. We don't always need to have a snack, and we certainly don't need to have a sugary snack, right? We want to stick with something that's healthy and reduce our sugar intake whenever we can. And so it says when you grab a snack to keep going, you will feel better and more energized for a little while, and then you crash and find yourself more tired and sluggish and stressed out than you were before. And that can certainly be true if you're eating something that's high in sugar, right? Oops, we're gonna let that go. And then slow down on the caffeine. I have a really hard time with telling people to slow down on the caffeine because that would make me a hypocrite. I drink a lot of coffee. In fact, I might have a little bit of adult onset ADHD, right? And so one of the signs that you have that, if you listen to anyone like Tim Ferriss, for example, he'll tell you a lot of people self-medicate with caffeine and overdoing the coffee to kind of help smooth themselves out, right? I'll do that sometimes. I'll notice that for some reason, I'm pounding 6, 7, 8 cups of coffee. When I worked at Suzuki, I used to drink something like 13 to 18 cups of coffee a day. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And now that I don't work at Suzuki any longer, I find that I've consumed a lot less caffeine, but it's still a regular daily thing for me. In the text, it says, start by giving up soda. Both regular and diet sodas aren't good for you. It says, this, why not use this healthy success makeover to motivate yourself to give it up finally? That to me is one of the key things to reduce. Sodas, energy drinks, processed sweetened teas, things like that. If you have the willpower to give that stuff up, then go ahead and do that. That'd be great. Something to think about. When you look at a can of soda and it says, 26 grams of sugar or 32 grams of sugar, or you look at like a Monster energy drink, right? And it says, and then you read the label and it says, well, there's 3.1 servings or 3.6 servings or something in one of those giant cans, right? And then it says, so many grams of sugar per serving. So you're going to drink that whole can, right? So take all that sugar, and it's like saying like you've got 22 sugar packets in a serving, and now you've got 3 of those, right? So now you've got like 70 sugar packets that are dissolved in this drink that you're drinking. And then someone will say, well, you're putting sugar in your coffee. Well, a teaspoon of sugar here is a whole lot different than 27 sugar packets in a soda, right? And so really start thinking about the stuff that you're taking in. Now, this talks more about habits and things that we're eating, right? So it says, again, just to recount, get enough sleep, take a break and stretch, healthy food in the house, skip the snacks, and slow down on the caffeine. We're not really talking about working out and doing fitness stuff yet, right? We're just kind of talking about overall, like, what are the steps for healthy success? Remember, this is a very abridged, very quick course on healthy success. It's only 5 days. So let's go down to the exercise for today. And I remind you, if you already signed up for the challenge or you're part of the email list and you're doing this on your own, fantastic, you're doing it on your own. I'm just recapping this as part of the daily video series for the Mañana Namas morning check-in, right? So here we are, day 2, setting your healthy success into motion. And what it's doing is it's asking for your current routine and then what your improvements might be. So it says, what's your bedtime routine? Do you have one? List what you currently do before bed below, and then add in a few improvement based on what you learned in lesson 2. And you'll see that this will be a trend for the following lessons too, right? So maybe for bed right now, I just, take a shower, brush my teeth, and hit the sack, right? Well, maybe I can improve things by, maybe I want to take a melatonin or a Tylenol PM and a glass of water and stretch and then lay down. I don't know, right? But take a look at what you currently do and how you think you could improve that. Now, what it says here is go into what you eat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then take a look at what you eat and what you think you could improve to reasonably. Don't make it hard. Make it something easy that's a great first step, right? Step 3, when we get stressed out or bored, we often reach for a snack to help us out, but we learned in lesson 2 that this isn't necessarily good for you. So what are some things you could do instead? And then list those alternatives. So in the text, I mentioned, seeds and nuts and dark chocolate and things like that. But, this is to make it personal for you. So when you get stressed out or bored and you start stuffing your face, what do you start stuffing your face with? And then what would be a good alternative? Now, later in the course, we may talk about like alternative modalities, right? So I just said, sometimes you get stressed out and you stuff your face. I will tell you, I have been able to change my personal modality a little bit, right? So instead of, go back to when I was fat, when I worked at Ducati, right? Might get frustrated working and, stop and swipe the corporate credit card after a class and get a big dinner, steak and taters and a couple of beers and salad and a cheesecake and a whatever, right? So we go through the whole list. If your mouth is watering, well, then you're a foodie like me, right? And then head back to the hotel, and then you're like, well, it's not bedtime yet. I think I'll head down to the hotel bar and I'll get a margarita or two or three, right? And then you go to bed and you've had enough margaritas that you can sleep well, but you got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's not like you're sleeping long, right? And so I think about that. And now I think about the way I am now when I get stressed out. When I get stressed out now, I put on a pair of shorts, a pair of cleats, meaning shoes with clips on them, and I hop on my mountain bike and I go ride 7 or 10 miles, right? That is a whole lot different than taking in 4,000 calories of frustration, right? Now I can go out and I can burn 2,500 or 3,000 calories on the mountain bike rather than taking in 3,000 or 4,000 calories out of frustration and eating my feelings, right? These are things that men don't talk about a lot, and you'll see that this is a big trend right now on TikTok and other social media channels about how men are dealing with stress or obstacles or things that affect them. And so I don't really want to necessarily make this a psychological challenge or course, but I at least want to recognize that men do get frustrated, men do react in ways that are other than punching holes in walls or being Neanderthals. We act very similarly to other members of society when they get frustrated. We eat, we drink, we lash out at people, we have mood swings. All of these things have been downplayed or were downplayed greatly decades ago, but have been amplified at the way that we have raised people to be more sensitive now. And so you'll see more and more men reacting in these ways. And if we can get back to, I'm sure I'll catch a little bit of flack on this because I'm talking to men now instead of just a mixed audience. But if we can get back to exerting yourself physically in those moments, that's the way we were originally designed. And I think that you'll find more contentment if you follow that path. Just my personal thoughts. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I don't have any qualification to tell you what to do, but I'm telling you what works for me. I am telling you that for me personally, taking in 3,000 to 4,000 calories out of frustration and dealing with the fat mess that's left behind was a lot more frustrating than hopping on the mountain bike or going for a run or going for a walk around the block or going for an aggressive motorcycle ride. There are so many other ways to express those emotions and those feelings. And then I call it a mental reset. Do that mental reset and then come back and be more productive, get back to work and more profitable. Remember, this course is about healthy success. So it's not just about, finding a way to behave in a more healthy way. It's finding a way to be more healthy in a way that leads to greater success. And success by a lot of people is going to be judged by driving that bottom line and profit. And so some of what we'll talk about in this coming week, as we're finishing up this week, will be about how this health kick will lead us to more financial reward. Folks, I hope you're interested in this. This is something that you guys said that you wanted when I put the feeler out there asking for suggestions. And obviously we hit on a passion point for me. So I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're getting some value out of having free access to this course. Again, if you're not already in the course, remember, you just go to mañananomas.com. You click on Academy at the top of the page, and then you enroll in the 5 Data Healthy Success course. And it's going to ask if you have a coupon. That coupon, again, is Mañana Mail. Capital M for Mañana and capital M for Mail, Mañana Mail. If for some reason you try to sign in and it fails, or you can't get it, or you fat finger the coupon and you get frustrated, don't give up, right? Just hit the contact link on the website and send me a quick message that tells me that you really want to participate in this, but you're having a hard time getting in. I'll have your email address from you sending that to me, and I'll do what I can to get you signed up, get you going, and get you onboarded and quick started in this thing so you can catch up. All right. Have yourself a fantastic day. And hopefully what you see now by me coming on late and still pulling this off, distractions happen, life happens, but we can still pick up where we left off and still find a way to be productive. If you're seeing the replay on LinkedIn, please know that I am very, very close to a personal milestone on LinkedIn. And if we are not already connected, I would love to have you as a connection. Just know that when you connect with me on LinkedIn, you will generally receive an invitation to a 15-minute conversation. And I do that with almost everybody I connect with. And that's because I like to know who I'm really connected to and, you know, what strings we're alike on, right? What themes we're alike on. And then that gives me a really good idea of how I can refer you to other people in my network. So I can match make people in my network better and then put people with skill sets together that make sense so that it's a win-win for everybody. So I look forward to talking to you and connecting to you. And if you're watching this on the Mañana No Mas website, I would love for you to float around and see some of the other content in there. Love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.